Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Now we are together again for our next practice. Today we're going to be focusing on some twisting poses. Twisting poses, wonderful for back issues if you take them easy. So once more, it's about the very first of the yamas, ahimsa, non-violence to your body, to yourself. It's where you bring about a sense of self-responsibility, self-care, right throughout all your yoga postures. So come and take a seated posture, whatever works for you, be it Virasana, be it Svastikasana. And come and give yourself time to settle, rooting down through the buttock bones, left and right, front and back, inner and outer, so that you're sitting equally and that the spine feels centered. And at the base of the pose, settling down, that central spinal column can dynamically ease upwards, all the way from the pelvic floor to the base of the skull. Relax the shoulders off that dynamic lift. Bring the palms into Atmanjali Mudra. And allow the top eyelid to gently melt to the bottom. So as you bring yourself into the space of your room, gradually allow yourself into the space of your body. And allow the breath to just ease in and out of that internal space of the body, the sada, the instrument of your body. And just check in on the weather pattern of your body, weather pattern of your breath for today. Is there a sense of still gripping and holding within the body and the breath? Or in the sitting for a while, is there a sense of easing, letting go, just accepting things as they are right now? Be it an inhalation or an exhalation. Release the lower jaw, so that the teeth are well parted and the lips lightly touching. Let the tongue rest into the floor of the mouth. Passive tongue. So that the mouth cavity becomes vast, spacious. Recheck in on that weather pattern of the body and the breath. And gradually, gently, bringing your awareness down to the very base of the pose, the space in between the buttock bones. Let your inhalation begin there from the pelvic floor. Having a slightly deeper, longer inhalation, let that breath spiral around and through your spinal column all the way up to the very top of the spine. And as you breathe out, allow the breath to spiral around and through the spinal column all the way down to the base of the pose as you reach the end of your exhalation. Gradually setting up a rhythm to your breath. Inhaling around and through the spinal column upwards. Exhaling, allowing that breath to spiral round and through all the way to the base of the pose. Slow, soft, smooth inhalation. Slow, soft, smooth exhalation. And gradually, as if intuitively, allow the arms to begin to resonate through and around your spinal column. As you breathe in, as you breathe out. And feel is the tendency for the arms to be on the inhale or the exhale. Or maybe both. All is fine. Just become aware of those internal resonances with this sound of Om. And keep the breath you're on. And maintaining that dynamic stability in the spine. Bow your head to your heart, making your own inner acknowledgements. Press the back of your hands onto your inner knees. Raise your head. Open your eyes. Come up and take your chair to begin with. Putting your backrest of the chair up against the wall so that you feel a sense of stability in the chair, and come and stand a fair distance from the chair so that your outer feet are connected to the inner edge of the mat. So your outer feet will be parallel. From there, keeping the thighs lifted, the knees firmly lifted, come forwards. Taking your hands so that the palms turn out, externally rotating for a very high Adho Mukha Svanasa, dog stretch. And you might need to step the feet a little further back, but ensure that the heels are firmly grounded, the whole horseshoe shape of the heel. Rooting down. The balls of the feet can be light, the toes light. And from there, ears in between the upper arms, create two parallel lines between the front and the back body. Two parallel lines between the outer hips and the armpits. Ears in between the upper arms. So if by any chance you find the upper back rounds in coming this low, take your hands onto the very upper part of the arms of the chair so that you create that parallel line, back body, front body. And come into a high Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. We're going to be focusing in the twists today with a number of parallel lines. The first one will be the two shoulder blades, moving parallel down the back body. The upper buttocks, those two parallel lines moving back. And then parallel lines either side of the spine, moving up from the back hips towards the lower back ribs. So that's the trunk. The parallel lines of the calves moving down through the center of the heels, and the parallel lines of the hamstrings moving up from below the knees all the way deep into the buttocks. And breathe. And then from there, creating that length in the spine, coming up, and for the moment, you're going to turn your chair so that the seat of the chair is facing up against the wall for Marichyasana 3. Take as many foams as you require if I face sideways on like this, you can see that my knee is slightly higher than my hip. So drawing that outer hip, if I demonstrate with this leg now, the outer hip can descend so that you get a sense of these two parallel lines remaining equally long, no matter how high you lift the leg. Come and stand close to the wall and put your right leg up, knee, hip against the wall. Slip your left hand inside, outside your outer right knee, right hand in line with your shoulder. And from there, just pause for a moment, lengthen the upper buttocks, those two parallel lines, lift those two parallel lines alongside the spine, and now lift the whole of the center line, the spine. And then from that stability, turn towards the right. Turn your head, look beyond your right fingertips. Broaden and spread the collarbones. Broaden and spread the back body. And then the shoulder blades, the upper buttocks descending, those quadratus laborum muscles, either side of the spine, with the front of the spine, ascending. And turn. So each inhale, lift through the spine, lift those two parallel lines next to the spine, from the hips to the back ribs. Breathe out, soften the abdomen and twist. And release, come back to center, and turn to the other side. I'm going to have my back to you now, but now you can see how the sacrum is aligned, the hips are aligned as I lift this left knee. Right hand slips inside the knee, left hand in line with the shoulders. So outer hip descending so that the upper buttocks are equally long, two equally long parallel lines. Breathe in, lift the spine, lift from the back hips to the back ribs. Exhale, turn, soften the abdomen. Bring those right back ribs forwards towards the wall as you ease these left side ribs away from them. Use the breath. Inhaling to lift and lighten. Exhaling, soften across the navel band and turn to go a little further. Can you turn your head, your neck spine to look over your left shoulder? And then release, come back to center. And from there, take Adho Mukha Svanasana to the floor. So, coming onto all fours, spread your palms, root down through the base of the index finger, the thumb, tuck your toes under, and coming up. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So as you lift your thighs, extend through your calves to take the heels down to the floor. As you lift your upper buttocks and your shoulder blades up your back, let the front of the spine extend from the front of the tail to the base of your skull. And breathe. And from there, release, come down, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So before we continue, just a word regarding twists. We always want to create tremendous space between the spinal vertebra. When that space is established, we can then twist and turn that spine any amount. So we always want to come from a sense of inner spaciousness, especially along the spinal column, creating that space to be able to turn. So that's why a lot of extension before we do the twisting. So coming to sit, I'm going to keep my mat like this. And you're going to come and sit onto a foam and be in Dandasana. So extending the legs forward, cupping the fingertips alongside you, create the space in the spinal column. Right from that tail that naturally curls into the body, lift the front of the spine as you inhale, relaxing the shoulders broadly, shoulder blade, upper buttocks down, but the sacrum, these two muscles alongside the spine, quadratus laborum, lift them up. They're like other additional railway tracks coming upwards. And then from there, swing your legs to the left. I'm going to demonstrate sideways on. Your left leg is going to go underneath with the foot flexed, and you're going to bring the right leg on top, pointing the toes back with the ankle over the arch of the foot. So, swinging the legs to the left, right leg goes underneath, and the left leg on top. From there, you sitting that support just underneath your right buttock bone. So right leg underneath, left leg on top. The left ankle goes over the arch of the right foot, and this left leg is back into a Virasana leg. Ground this left buttocks. So you want to allow this left buttock bone to descend. So in other words, if I was facing backwards, these two parallel lines would be equally as long, like I showed you in Virasana at the wall. So lengthen this left upper buttocks, lifting from the left upper hip to the left back ribs. And then from there, turn to the right. Cup your left fingertips over the right knee and cup your right hand behind you. Descending the buttock bones, long upper buttocks, ascending the spine. Shoulder blades down the back, and now breathe in. Lift the spine, breathe out. Use this left hand, to pull and turn. So inhaling into space as you lift up, exhaling into twisting and turning. Shoulders relaxed. Parallel lines of the shoulder blades down the back. Upper buttocks down towards the earth. But those quadratus laborum lifting up. Right back ribs digging in. And release. Turn towards the center. Inhale, come up, and now just swing your legs over the other way. Taking your support and putting it underneath your left buttocks only. So the right buttock has space to descend into that space. If you need to sit higher to equalize the hips, please do. Take 2 foams, 3 foams, fold your blanket 4 times. But what needs to happen here is that the hips are aligned so that the sacrum in the back body is aligned. Upper buttocks equally descending. And settling the knees down, center the spinal column. Lift the front of the spine as you inhale, maintaining that space. Exhale and turn to the left. Cupping your right hand over your left knee. Ease up as you breathe in. Exhale, maintaining that space. Pull with your right hand and turn towards the left. Inhaling to create space. Exhaling, twist and turn. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, soften the whole of the navel band. Turn. Inhale, lift up, maintain that space. Exhale, turn around the lower ribs, bringing those right back ribs deep into the body. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Can you turn through the shoulder girdle a little more? Tuck that left shoulder blade into the back and turn your head a little more. And then release, come back to center. Just remove your support and take your legs, extending them forwards. Dandasana. And from there, bend up your knees and come standing up for just 2 standing poses. And for today, bring your bricks. For those of you that need to go higher, please have your chair handy. I'm going to put the chair behind me here just to demonstrate if needs be. Come and stand with your feet in the center of the mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. So root the 4 points of the feet deeply down into the earth. Toes easing softly forwards. Drop the ankles, the knees, the thighs. Remember last week how I focused on bringing the tail towards the pubis and the pubis towards the tail. So there's a sense of 2 parallel lines front to back. Compact your outer hips and lift the front of the spine. And this tremendous stability in the center of gravity. Fingertips to touch. Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, jump or step the feet wide. Remember those of you, high blood pressure, pregnant, eye problems, lower back, knee problems, step. Be kind to your body. Turn your left foot in and pressing into your right heel. Turn the whole of this right leg out, right from the inner thigh. Scoop the right buttocks into the body. So already you twisting from right to left. So you're facing forward. So this already is a subtle twist. Inhale, lift the spine, keeping that lift on the exhalation. Bring your right hand onto the brick. Just for today. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen the front of the spine, keeping that space, press down into the brick and turn the whole of your trunk to look up at your left fingertips. For those of you that, as I said, this is a little bit low and you're finding that these left side ribs are popping up, if you can't ease them down to the right so that you have 2 parallel lines here, take your chair, put your hand on the seat of the chair and come a little higher. This is why these props are wonderful, but they're not crutches. They're there to assist, not for you to become dependent upon. Inhale, lengthen from the front of the tail all the way to the top of the spine. Exhale, turn the whole of your trunk right to left, looking up if it's possible. There's neck, shoulder issues, looking forwards. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Turn your right toes in. Press into your left heel and spiral that left leg out. Inhale, centering the spine. Lift up. Scoop this left buttocks forward so the spine remains centered. Exhale, already start to turn the abdomen left to right as you bring your left hand to your breath. Root down through the 4 points of the soles of the feet. Inhale, lengthen the front of the spine. Exhale, keeping that space, turn the whole of your trunk left to right. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen, create space in the spine. Exhale, turn right from this left buttock bone, this internal hip, turn from that. Reaching through your right fingertips, come up. Turn your feet to face forwards, jump your feet together. Tadasana. Pause for a moment as you gather yourself back together, equalizing left and right, front and back. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Inhale, lift your fingertips, relax the shoulders, exhale and jump. Turn your left foot well in. Even if for today it means you lift that heel slightly and move it out, pressing into your right heel, turn towards the right, Vimanasana. So here you have that aeroplane. From there, you're going to spiral this left hip deeply in towards the middle line and towards the back body. And first time round, you're going to hook this right thumb into your outer right hip, so that as you bring your left hand down, you're going to root that mound of the right big toe down and pull that right hip up and back. Please, if the brick is too low, once more you come back to the chair. The brick can go a little lower, do so. But think more of this length, space in the spine, root down through the mound of the right big toe and pull that right hip up and back. And from that stability, inhale, turn, inhale, lengthen, exhale, turn, spiral around that spinal column, pulling that outer right hip back. So there's alignment across the sacrum. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lengthen these parallel lines from hips to ribs. Exhale, turn. Rooting down through your left heel and under that right big toe. Come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Turn your right foot well in, press into your left heel, turn your left leg up. Vimanasana. So, this right hip wants to spiral well in this. Hook your left thumb into that outer left hip. Pull it back as you take your right hand onto the brick. Whatever you did on the one side, do on the other. So if the brick is high, if you've got the chair, bring the chair across for yourself, but have it equal for today. Root down through the mound of that left big toe and pull that left hip back. So the shoulder blades, the upper buttocks lengthen down the back body, but the quadratus laborum, these major muscles from the hips to the ribs, lift them up in the other direction with the front of the spine. So inhale, lengthen, create space. Exhale, turn. Inhale, lengthen, create space. Exhale, bring those right back ribs forward as you take your left side ribs back. Long, spacious spine. Press into the mound of the left big toe. Root into your right heel. Come up. Turn your feet to face forwards. Jump the feet together. Take your chair or your bricks, whatever allows space for you, and come into Uttanasana. So taking your hands onto the seat of the chair, if this is how high you need to be to release this upper back into the body and spread the lower back. Otherwise, take your hands to the bricks. Some of you might be able to even take the hands to the floor. But lengthen the front body, lengthen the sternum, create space as you allow your eyes to close briefly. Breathe. Ankles up, knees up, thighs up. The firmness of the legs support you to allow the trunk to just release, completely passive. Check in on that weather pattern of the breath now. Is it settled? Is it smooth? Place your hands on the front of your thighs. Lengthen your spine forward. Lift your head. Press the back of your head into the ceiling. Shoulder blades into the back to support you and lift you up. So we're going to repeat Parivrtta Trikonasana, coming back into the final pose. So if you're using your chair, please take it. But please, for today, do at least use bricks. The bricks take us that little bit higher to give us that little bit more space. We don't need to rush into the final pose to compromise things. Remember, ahimsa, non-violence to our practice, to ourselves. Fingertips to touch. Inhale, jump the feet wide. Turn your right leg well in. Turn your left leg out 90 degrees. So you're facing Vimanasana towards the side. Root through that outer left heel. Root down through the mound of that right big toe. Lift your spine. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale. Bring your hand to the brick, to the chair. Now extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. Draw that outer right hip firmly back as you spiral your left hip into the medial line. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Now exhale, sharp exhalation. Turn your trunk, left to right. Right from internal of the hips to the shoulders. Now turn your head, your neck, look up. Breathing in, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, and up. Turn the feet to face forwards. Turn your right leg well in, left leg out 90 degrees. Inhale, aligning the sacrum. Lift the spine, exhale. Bring your right hand to the brick, to that outer shin. This is your fulcrum, the forearm to that outer shin bone. The more you can connect that, the more you can twist. Root down through your right heel and under the left big toe. Spiral your outer right hip in. Draw that outer left hip back and up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, turn. Inhale, spacious spine. Exhale, twist. Right back ribs, dig them forwards. Left side ribs, take them back. Pressing to your right heel, mound of the left big toe. Come up. Inhale, jump the feet together. Tadasana. And stand for a moment. Bringing yourself back together, gathering yourself. Breathe. Check in on the breath once more. From there, stepping once more into Adho Mukha, Virasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog stretch. Coming up. Lengthen the calves down through the heels. Lift right from below the knee. So this upper calf area, lift all the way deep into the buttocks. Hit the head of your shin bone back. Hit the lower front thigh back. Hit the upper front thigh back. So it's like you move the bones of the legs back to the wall behind you and then shoot the spine forwards. Spacious spine. Check in on your spine after the twisting. Breathe. Shoulder blades, upper buttocks, up towards the wall. Those quadratus laborum from the hips to the ribs extend with the front of the spine. Puff open your armpits as you allow the armpits to come closer to the floor. Bend your knees, Adho Mukha, Virasana. Check in on how the physical body feels, how the physiological body feels after your practice today. Get your hands back, come sitting up, and lie yourself down. Knees are bent, move all your props for today. It's not going to be a very long Savasana. So for today, just see if you can lie flat, bending up your legs, grip your sticky mat, and pull your sticky mat as if towards you to roll onto the outer heads of your shoulders. Spread your collarbones. Feel like you're lifting the whole of your thoracic spine into the back. So in actual fact, by doing this, all you've got is the base of the skull, back of the skull resting to the floor, and your tailbone. Everything else of the spine move into the back. Outer shoulders, press down. Lift that dorsal thoracic spine into the back. The lower backwards into the back. Keeping that, lift your buttocks, lengthen those two parallel lines of the buttocks to the heels. Keep gripping the mat. Nothing has changed with the shoulders. Stretch your heels away from you. Walk your heels further and further away. Make the bones of the legs longer and longer. Let go your legs. Roll the inner upper arms well out. And take your hands at least 70 degrees away from the sidebar. Lift your head. Keep the shoulder heads pressing down and looking down. Check that your feet are equidistant from each other. That this central spacious line of the spine is resting down and keeping the back of the neck long. Pull the base of the skull off the top of your spine. So your chin ever so slightly comes to your chest. Release your lower jaw. Release the palms of the hands. Release the soles of the feet. Let the top eyelid come to rest on the bottom. With the top eyelid resting on the bottom, the eyelashes gently mingle with each other. The eyes soften back. Check in for a moment the weather pattern of your breath now. And let the breath just be. Accepting the breath for as it is right now. Let go completely. Keeping your eyes softly closed. Let the breath become a little fuller, a little deeper. Your awareness to the space around you in the room, beyond the walls of the room. Gently roll the legs towards each other, one by one. Draw up the legs so the feet rest on the floor. Extend your right arm over your head and just gently fold to the right. Keeping the eyes closed, the head heavy and passive, press down with the left hand and uncurl your spine to come sitting in Sukhasana. If the eyes are open, let them gently reclose. Bring your palms into Atma and Mudra. Breath settling back to its normal everyday rhythm. As you close and seal your practice for the day, a sense of kindness to self, deep gratitude for your practice, the health of this body as it is right now. Namaste.